Stop chasing. Look, it's Marcel, aka Honey Bunny Sunny, and you know I'm on a mission to make you some money. Listen, today I have a really critical video for you guys. It's going to be pretty short and to the point. What I want you to understand is that there is a crash looming. We got a little hint just the other week, but I want to show you and break it down how there is a huge crash that is coming. And I want you guys to understand this so that you can prepare for it and not get all your hard work from the year, wiped out. So as I mentioned in my previous video, there are specific times of the year that major moves happen, right? They're not the same spot every year. I know you see things like, oh, well, November or September is like a historical up or down month, right? We hear it about specific months. It's not always tied to that. We've seen a lot of that changing over the past few years. What we really see is just like news or news catalysts being the reason for some sort of downswing, right? The Fed meeting, inflation decisions, rate cuts, things like that are typically when these events take place. Now, I'm gonna pull up a chart so that you can just gotta get an idea of, just how overextended we are in the market. Now, when you're overextended, the stock market has to come down and correct itself. All right, so I got spot pulled up right here. Every so often we get unprecedented moves. So like if you were a person, that were investing to the upside, let's say in March, right? Early March, you were rewarded. You were rewarded handsomely. You know what I mean? Like you got it all the way up here. We're talking about a growth from March of about, let's just measure this out, right? Measure it out. Measure it out. We're talking about a growth of almost 44%. 44% on spot, right? So that's a huge growth. Now, it came down, it came down here, came back up, and then broke highs. So you see a V-shaped recovery, and then it broke highs, and now let's measure it out. It's about 12% above highs. Now, this does have the potential to continue higher, but what I'm seeing is a correction happening first, right? A correction is also a crash. I'm not saying that we're going to go directly into a bear market, but when I'm looking at the charts, this is what I'm seeing on the market. We had a strong push up for months, right? Strong push up for months. We finally had like a slight little crash last week, but then it pushed up, and then on Friday we had like a very strong day. So it looked like the market wanted to bounce. But what I'm seeing right here is on the weekly, this candle is staying inside. Yes, we still have a day or so to go in the market, and I'm recording this prior to when I'm actually posting this, so I do want to be transparent about this. This is actually being recorded on Tuesday. We'll probably post on Thursday. So right now it's showing that this candle is still inside the range of this other candle. If this body stays inside of this body, especially after this reversal on the weekly, we could see multiple weeks of it coming down into this area. If it breaches this area, then we could be making our way down to a full correction. All right. So I want you guys to be cognizant of that, because what you're going to see is a lot of, market manipulation or market manipulation attempts, I should say, with news and things like that. Trump's going to say some things. There's going to be a lot of things that's getting everybody on the side of this going up, but it's going to be right at the obvious place of the market supposed to be going up when there's going to be a rug pull. Okay, save this video so that you can come back and reference it and see what I'm talking about. But this is essentially forming a bearish harami on the weekly, which is a very strong reversal signal, right? That's just on technicals. I'll stop sharing this. That's just on technicals. We also have declined consumer spending year over year, right? We've been seeing a steady decline in job openings as well as employment. So there's a lot of factors in the economy that are showing that there's not a ton of money that is floating around to be able to drive the market. Now, they're talking about doing stimulus checks and things like that, but I believe that it's going to be too little too late, and we do see a correction. Every market needs a correction, right? Whenever something has gone too far, it has to pull back to correct. So at least coming back to retest the previous highs is something that I think it would do, but I believe it's actually going to fall below that into correction territory, and then from there we go higher. This could be over a 3 to 4 month period. Nobody can predict 100%, but it's looking like the beginning of it is starting now. All right, so I just wanted to put that on your radar so that you're not caught with your pants down. I know that you guys spend a ton of time getting your getting your accounts up, and like I said, there's a few times a year where you can make a lot of money that's much higher than what your daily is, right? But you want to make sure that you're positioned to do that. So again, as these next 3 months are going by, keep your risk off, keep your risk small and consistent. And if you don't see really good setups, don't take it. It's completely fine. Take that money that you were going to risk and just put it over into what I would like to call just like a cash position in some other account or in the brokerage account, whatever. But just make sure that it's something that you're not touching. So if you were going to risk 200 to try to, or 2,000 to try to make 200, maybe put about 1,000 of that, away. Maybe take, whatever the profits would have been and just keep moving that over on days when there's nothing, right? So on days when you can't take a trade, move some money over to that, cash position for when a super good setup happens. That's like a once or twice in a year thing. You can take advantage of it. All right. That's all I got today, right? There's a market crash coming. You're gonna come back to this video and be like, damn, Marcel, he was right. I'm trying to tell you, I've seen this before. It's gonna be when you're excited about the up move. They already hinted at it with the first correction, right? I mean with that, not the first correction, but with the last drop. They already hinted at where the market's gonna go. They're just testing the downside now. Once the downside starts getting tested, that's when you know that there's something bigger on the way. We've been kind of around this top for a while. It's becoming exhausted. It tested it and then it bounced. The next test is going to break through, and then we're going to see a continuation to the downside. So be prepared. All right. It's always Lev over here. Remember, invest smart, live free. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.